Hey guys, we are back with a JP news video here. We have Full Power Jiren LR coming out, and some people are surprised, some people aren't surprised. We're going to go ahead and talk about that here, and I am joined with a very special guest today. D-Free is here. What's going on, man?
Yo, what's up, man? Thanks for having me on. It's been a little bit since I've been on the channel, especially for like Dokkan content. It's fun.
Yeah, this is a bit of a different one. Usually we're doing Legend stuff together. Usually we're playing PvP or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, here we go with Jiren. So if you guys didn't see, they did release a Full Power Jiren last night. What's funny about this is they usually release info at 4 in the morning in my time. So I intentionally stayed up because I saw that they released the EZA info, and I'm like, okay, yeah, there's a...
Yeah, it's definitely coming.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be an LR tonight, and there was nothing at 4 a.m. I'm like, oh, okay. And I went to bed, and then literally an hour after that, they released it, and I woke up this morning at like 8, and I'm like, nice, dude. Like, I just missed it.
Hello, huh? He's asleep? Okay, go. Boom. There it is.
Yeah, that's literally what they did. So I'm not going to go through the entire card. It's right here on your screen, so you guys can read it. You can pause the video, whatever you want to do. But
yeah,
the thing I want to talk about here, we'll quickly talk about how good he is. Obviously, this guy's going to be insane. Like it's just you take a look at his passive, 200% attack and defense. Like what? Unconditional. And this was something where, like previously with like maybe the LR Android or something, you have to fall below a certain amount of health or fulfill certain conditions to get the active skill, the exchange mechanic going, and then like that, then you're talking about 200% attack and defense. But dude, this guy comes out turn 1, he's just like,
bold of you to assume they care anymore.
Yeah, this guy comes out turn 1 and he's just like, I'm here, I'm Jiren. Like I've listen, I'm Jiren. I have 200% attack. I don't abide by any rules here.
Yeah, and he also has freaking built-in key self-sufficiency. He also has either crit or type effective. He has an active skill. He's nuts. He's gonna hit like a literal nuke. He's incredibly good. It's pretty simple.
Yeah. The main point of this video is going to be discussing basically the design philosophy of a lot of the newer units that have come out in this game, and a lot of the EZAs as well. Me personally, I've been very vocal on Twitter about my, I guess, disliking of a lot of these generically designed units. And once upon a time, we were actually talking about this before the video started, like, some of this design stuff in here was, once upon a time, it was actually pretty unique. But at this point, a lot of it's been played out so much where it's like, okay, yeah, we've seen this like 5, 6, 7 times already. So, I mean, it's time for something new. I don't know. Do you have anything you want to add to that?
Let's see, like, on that first part, it's like, the thing is, like, when it comes to producing uniqueness in this game, I feel like they don't really even try to do that most of the time because they have a tried and true formula of, oh, let's just put out a hard-hitting unit and they'll just kind of make up for whatever uniqueness that we're lacking with these unit designs and stuff like that. And it winds up coming off as generic. Like you said, a lot of times there are new mechanics that were new once upon a time. Like we reading this Jiren. Oh, the conditional stuff like, oh, let me get critical hits or type effective and all these things. Getting key via passive. All these things were new once upon a time. One of my favorite units from forever ago was like Android 17, the Super 17, whenever he came out, because his playstyle was kind of different. You know, he got that whenever he's hit, he gets the stacks and stuff like that, right? Playstyle was pretty different. I enjoyed him a lot back then, even though a lot of people kind of hated him. But even that mechanic started getting played out a little bit, and everything they do gets played out a little bit. So it kind of is what it is, and they have their set formula. So I don't really know. There's not really different things that they're doing anymore, or even trying to do, right?
Yeah, and it's kind of upsetting too because I think Dokkan. So a lot of people compare Dokkan versus Legends. The big thing obviously is PvPs and Legends, and I think PvP adds a lot of just replayability inherently to the game, to where Legends isn't really pigeonholed into having to always be innovative with the units they release. They could release, you know, we see a bunch of just disgustingly powerful units that just came out during the anniversary. A lot of them weren't really unique in any way; they were just good. And that's fine because the game is mostly based around PvP. Every single time you go into PvP, you're going to be fighting a match, and every single match is going to be different. So that in that way, there's always some sort of differentiation going on between your like what you're doing in the game. But with Dokkan, it's all dependent on the events that you're playing. Yep. And you could go through the Legendary Goku event 10 times, and it could play out the exact same time every single time. So if you're using this Jiren card, and Jiren is just doing one thing the whole time, he's just doing a lot of damage, you're collecting key spheres, he's doing damage, that's the entire unit, that's all he's doing, it's not going to be fun after the 20th time you use him.
Yeah.
Whereas
I do want to add, like I said earlier, I do think there's a caveat in here because some people just want to see big numbers go brr. That's it, man. That's it. They don't care about anything else.
Yeah.
I just want to add that. Your Jiren is going to get your 10 million attack stat. He's going to be happy. You're going to be happy with that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, this guy, again, I'm not saying this guy's bad by any means.
No,
look at his
we're not
passive.
saying that.
Look at his passive.
We're not saying that. It's just like Goresh was saying, it can get boring doing the same thing over and over, and it's not unique in any way. There's no variance at all. You're playing the exact same content, getting the exact same results, and it's like, well, where's the fun in that, right? Jiren is more of the same of what we got. We didn't really talk about Broly yet, but he's more of the same of what we got, you know?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so I will say this. I do actually really like his active skill. Because this is something that we haven't really seen before. Able to be used once, 5 attacks have been received in battle, which is a condition that we haven't really seen a lot of.
That's the only uniqueness in this unit.
Yeah, and then the thing I like about his active skill is it's basically taking parts from the STR Jiren. And same thing with the passive, by the way. This unit, by the way, I wouldn't be surprised if they just took the STR Jiren and they were like, how do we make this into an LR? Like, they just built off of what his existing kit was. And they were just like,
he even has like the defense down mechanics on the super attacks. Like he's just
I don't know. But his active skill is attack and defense plus 30% for 1 turn, so that's already pretty good by itself. And stun all enemies, and all enemies attack and defense minus 30%. So I like this effect a lot because of the fact that it's taking into consideration the possibility that the enemies are immune to being stunned, which in a lot of cases they are. And then we're talking about, maybe they're not immune to having their attack or defense lowered. And then if they are, then, we have this other stipulation here where he gets 30% attack and defense.
And it synergizes incredibly well with the passive.
Yeah.
So no matter what's happening, he's going to get something.
Yeah, because the way this passive works is, the way the active skill works is it's similar to how B-Pan's active skill works, where the higher the start of turn attack boost is, the more effect this extra boost is going to have. So him starting at 200% attack with like a 21,000 attack stat, this guy's gonna be hitting like 10 million or something. It's gonna be stupid.
And if they're stunned, he's gonna crit, and if they can't be stunned, then they'll probably get attack or defense down or whatever, some combination. Then he'll be type effective. Like, dude, what? He's gonna hit really hard.
Yeah. So we've established that this is a good unit, right? I don't want you guys to be like, oh, what are you talking about? He's so good. Like, we're not saying he's not good. We're just saying that he's not doing anything new. And he's not adding depth to the game in any way, in my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah, so that's just my critique of this unit. And then you could say the same thing for Super Saiyan 3 Broly EZA that just came out. I think Super Saiyan 3 Broly EZA is way more of an offender in that regard than Jiren, because Jiren does have this active skill, which I think is really cool.
Well, I was going to say, Jiren having an active skill by default makes him more unique, because not every unit has that.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's just a product of Broly being old before the active skills even released.
Yep.
But they literally, Broly is the definition of like a one-dimensional unit, because all he does is hit hard. Like, I call these basically what I
go.
Yeah, literally, I call these units caveman units because their only thing is me Broly, me hit hard. Like, they just collect key spheres, hit hard, 0 defense, 0 anything. It's just big attack stat. That's it. That's the only thing he does. So
he was the biggest offender of that pre-awakening. It's honestly pretty disappointing that he's still more of the same. I've seen like him kind of maintain a decent defensive stat, but it's not good enough for hard content like ESBR.
Right, so. Again, we're not saying he's bad, because he does so much damage. He does like 3-4 million attack stats every single time, like very easily.
Nuts.
So he's definitely not bad. It's just you have one option with him, right? You have one option. So I don't know. I feel like if they could expand on the way that you can use these units in battle, it would make the game a lot more replayable. And that would let you like go into these events and play them 4, 5, 6, 7 times without starting to feel like, okay, yeah, I've seen this before. There's only so many units you can use, and it's just like, at what point is it just become a chore rather than a game?
Yeah, I think they kind of realized that somewhere along the way, which is why they started adding multiple things like producing units that excel in things that are shorter, like SBR, versus in longer content with their limitless stacks, like the Goku event, or even doing things like introducing the exchange/active skill mechanics to also kind of differentiate and breathe new life into some of these units. I think they kind of realize this. Also, some of their weird stipulations, like needing X number of types of allies in your team, or needing to be versus specific allies to get this part of your passive. So I think they're trying to forcefully do it, but it comes off as, again, forced, right? And I think they noticed this at some point. They just don't know how to rectify it.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And then we can take a look just quickly at this Toppo parentheses Pride Troopers unit also. This guy's cool. He's obviously not a main headlining unit. He's a secondary unit. Obviously, a lot of wordplay on the Universe 11 thing going on in the passive. He's doing a lot of stuff, like guard activated, while he also has like, what is this, like
nuts, man.
like 250% attack and defense or something, like what?
Really, the biggest shaft is that he's getting shattering the limit.
Yes, okay, that's a good point too, because I think that indicates, because I saw a lot of people were saying like, oh yeah, Jiren, his leader skill looks really good, he has fierce battle, I wonder if this guy's going to be another Dokkan Fest LR. And my rebuttal to that is, I don't think so, because
shattering.
Yeah. A, doesn't make sense. B, this guy is shattering the limit, and then C, there was no.
We're getting a new event, aren't we?
Yeah, there was no new Dokkan Fest stage announced, so that's why I'm thinking, okay, this guy's just going to be an LR banner, similar to how UI Sign Goku was like a few weeks ago.
Yeah. And Hydra's had a good idea. It's probably time to bring back the Rising Carnival too.
Oh, if you think they could do double rates?
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Remember when every LR was on double rate banners at first, right?
Yeah, unfeatured. Yeah, that's the best time. Oh man.
Hey, you know why they stopped is because they were like, hey, wait, hold on, let's stop, because now there's too many freaking LRs in the pool, bro.
Yeah, and they release like one a year now. Okay, so I mean, yeah, this guy's cool. I actually like this design a lot. I actually kind of like it a little bit more than Jiren's, because it makes you build your team around this guy. Where Jiren, you can definitely build your team around him and make him good, but he doesn't require that you use specific units. This guy does require these specific, but he's not bad if you don't, right? Like, it's not like all of a sudden he's just terrible if you don't use the Universe 11 units. He's just obviously a lot better if you do.
Yeah, that's kind of a little bit of what I was talking about, with them trying to limit and force specific team compositions to really maximize certain units. Like, a good example is like Blue Kaioken Goku, the newer one, and his active skill, right? He needs so many Universe 7 units on his team. That's kind of them trying to do that.
Yeah, I don't know how much I like that, though, because like the whole fun of the game, at least in my opinion, a lot of the fun comes out of team building.
Having your own flexibility.
Yeah, and so if they're like, okay, well, yeah, you need 7 of these guys in your team, it's like, well, that's my entire team, thanks. Like, I have no freedom now to actually build my team. You just built it for me.
Yeah, that's people's biggest complaint, too, with the other EZA mode.
Yeah. So yeah, this is Toppo.
We actually didn't talk about the Broly yet, though, either.
Yeah, we're gonna bring that up in a second.
Okay, cool.
So basically, this is gonna be like the sort of like the end of this discussion, though. We talk about like innovation and stuff in this game, and a lot of people are like, okay, well, like, what would you do differently, or well, how would you create a unit that is different or something? And I think a good example that we can use to show what they can really do in this game, and they've proven that they can actually do this, like, because they released this unit during the anniversary. And this guy's coming to global probably within the next week or week and a half or so.
Week and a half, yeah.
Is the Broly, Cheelai, and Lemo LR unit. Now, is this guy the best unit in the game? No. Is this guy like insanely good? I would say he's very good. I don't know if he's like insane. But the fact that he has so much flexibility in his passive, you guys can read the passive, it's pretty long. The fact that he has so much flexibility in his passive, and it lets you decide on what playstyle you want to use depending on the situation right now in battle. Let's say you're getting attacked a million times. Okay, I want to raise my defense. Let's say you have one enemy left and you just want to finish them off before they attack you. Okay, I want to raise my attack. Let's say you, I don't know, you have a choice between getting attack, defense, or 7 types of orbs. Like, there's so many different options you can play around with this guy, and this guy makes you actually consider the orb field. How often do you play this game right now, and you're like, should I collect these orbs or should I collect these? It doesn't matter. You're starting at
doesn't matter unless you're using
key.
like Broly anymore.
Yeah, you're starting to turn at 20 key anyway. Like, it doesn't matter. But with this unit, it really makes you think and consider, should I go down this path or whatever. So
obviously, being like a main for JP, he's been out for quite a while for me. But I remember when he dropped, and I had some of my most fun playing the game with him because the way that it forced you to kind of think ahead and consider your placements on the board, which is not something, like you said, that we have to do very often unless you're using like a freaking nuker unit. And a lot of times nowadays they can just produce their own orbs anyway. But like, you had to think about that. You had to consider that. And then also the flexibility of, okay, well, this turn, do I need the Broly to actually be a monster? Do I need, the guaranteed dodges? Do I need the support for attack or defense? And this level of flexibility leads to that card being probably the most unique unit in the entire game at this point. And like I said earlier, the thing is, like, it's not that they haven't been unique in the past. It's that they do these things and then they play them out. Because everything at one point was new. Everything they have in these passives that are now generic was once upon a time new. But more of Broly would be a good idea. They just don't try anymore. You think about it, it's been we've already been like, what, 6 months now?
Yeah,
since
5-6
this
months.
guy dropped on JP. Like, it's been that long and they haven't produced another unit like that. Not at all.
Yeah.
So they don't even try.
This is why I'm getting sort of, I'm not like frustrated, but it's just disappointing a little bit to me because like this guy, this Jiren, like I'm actually going to pull up the art because the art's, I wouldn't really say it's the best, but it's still Jiren, right? So here we go. Full power. This is like, people were asking this to be a Dokkan Fest LR for an anniversary. Like, that's how hyped people were for this guy. Now, me personally, I'm not a huge fan of the character, but a lot of people do really like Jiren. And obviously, the guy who pairs up with Jiren is UI Goku, the white-haired version of UI Goku.
Okay, let me ask. I'm sorry to cut you off. Let me ask the people watching the video. Do you guys actually like Jiren, or do you just like Jiren paired with Goku? Let me ask now. How many people actually genuinely like Jiren? And I'm sure there are some, but I want to know how many people. Just leave it in the comment.
A lot of the comments that I saw on the official post by Japanese players were all just like, "Oh, UI Goku's coming soon." Like, that's all they were asking about. They weren't even talking about Jiren. They were talking about Goku. So to me, I kind of, because I even made a tweet about this a while ago. I'm not going to pull it up because I'm not going to scroll through my thing right now, but I was like, I actually don't expect Jiren to be part of a big celebration. I think he would fit really well just like a standalone LR banner. People are like, oh no, like Jiren's going to come with LR UI Goku, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, people don't understand how unpopular of a character this guy actually is. Like,
that's why I asked what I did.
Yeah, I saw posts on like other tweets, and people were like, "Oh, they made him so good because he's so unpopular." It's like, that's actually not that far from the truth, honestly. Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that they, I don't know, they just made him just like a generically very powerful unit, and not only the fact that he's good, but his passive gives off the, I guess, the aura that he is going to be good. It's very straightforward, and it's easy for people to understand that he is going to be really good. And I feel like that's going to be an incentive for a lot of people to pull on this banner, whereas if they made him very intricate and maybe like a little bit unique and not super obvious that he's good, people might not summon. So I think that also does go into the thought process behind his design as well.
And that's kind of a little bit of the entire thought process of every unit's design, right? They have decided, and they decided this a long time ago, probably around the 2-year anniversary, that, hey, the bigger the number, the more likely it is to sell. That's what they started. Yeah. And they decided that, or like I said, around the 2-year anniversary, when they said, okay, let's just make this huge meta shift from 70s to 120s and just make every unit do millions of damage.
Yeah, and give Super Saiyan 4 Goku 150% attack, yeah.
Yeah, like, why? Like... so I think that's probably a large part of their design choice, and I think for Broly, you are right. Like, some of those people are probably right. Yeah, they just decided, let's just make him do big damage so he sells. So I don't know. It's kind of, I wish we could get at least more dichotomy with the units, where at least some of them popped up a little bit more that are a little bit more unique, and not only unique in the way that they're inhibiting or prohibiting some of the team compositions you can do, like I was talking about earlier. I want to see more like uniqueness. Yeah,
definitely in agreement with you there. But you can let us know down below what you guys think about this discussion. I feel like a lot of people don't even talk about this that often. And I'm interested in hearing what you guys have to say. By the way, Jiren really needs to stop skipping leg day. Look at this. All right, well, with that, I guess we will go ahead and conclude this one. Appreciate you coming on the channel. Always good talking with you.
No problem, man.
And if you guys enjoyed, again, leave comments down below letting us know what you think about this discussion. If you guys agree, disagree, whatever you want to say about that. But yeah, I'll see you guys all in the next one.